Hello, book club. Magus here, back in the library. Circe, chapter 12 is another one of those chapters. It's the reason I love this book, right? It's the writing. If you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know this is my favorite book with the most beautiful prose you'll ever read. There's nothing like it. Matter of fact, I was can you see all the gold is coming off of Circe's face? The spine is splitting, the cover's coming off. It just flops open now the way I like a book. It feels good. I love this book. In chapter 12, I'm going to do quite a bit of reading here so that I don't mess up this beauty with my own thoughts and ideas. But I do have many thoughts and ideas here. But oh my God, guys, chapter 12. Real quick, I want to touch on something because I can't get it out of my head about another video I'm thinking about making about the devil, a cult. I was in a cult. A lot of you guys don't know that. I struggle to tell a lot of these stories. One, I don't understand everything. Secondly, it makes me sometimes feel so bad to tell these stories. It sometimes, it can send me into a funk, right? A matter of fact, I take down very few videos, but I made a video about my time in that cult, and I took it down. I got so angry. I guess it was good because I saw, I still have a lot of shadow work left to do there. A lot of hurt still there that I thought I had dealt with, but apparently I had just pressed down, right? And as I started to talk about it, and I want to share a photo with you guys. I feel like my body transformed on film. And even though I got rid of the video, I went back to watch it because I felt myself transforming out of rage as I was telling the story, because I was just a kid when I was in that cult. And I was so abused. And now that I've come into my power, right, and I started to feel what would have taken place, what would have transpired now. And my friends, my body grew. And before I deleted the video, I went and I just did a snapshot of my body because I could see what I had felt before. Matter of fact, I remember one time I was with my dad and some friends, and we were in Los Angeles, California at a restaurant, and there was some drunk guys, and it was getting rowdy, and my friend went over to confront them, which was a bad idea to start with. And so I can't let him go by himself. And then my dad can't let me go by myself. So we all go over there and a fight breaks out. My dad said that he saw my body grow, kind of like you're going to see. I'll put up this photo here in a minute. He said I grew like twice my size, and I hit this poor guy so hard. He said I split his head like a watermelon. I went into just this focus, like I can't even describe it, but I just anyway, they couldn't stop the bleeding. The ambulances come, the cops come, I get arrested. It was just not a good thing, but it was that thing that where I felt like I grew. I can't describe it. And so I want to share that with you. But that's why I'm a little leery to make this video. One, because last time I got so angry. And it's not good for you. I mean, your mentality, your body. So I don't want to share this if no one's interested. But then I want to do it in a way that, why am I sharing this? Because I'm a view and like whore, because these kind of videos do get more views and likes. What have I gleaned from it? What can I pass on wisdom to young men that have gone, or women that have gone through similar things and abuses, attacks? where, you might get out of that cult, but it stays with you right fucking here for a long, long time. So here's what I want you to do. That video that I just did, it's getting a lot of traction. And this one got me thinking, maybe I should make this because you sickos like this stuff, but I want to do it in a positive way. I want to keep growing the channel, but I want to give wisdom and make the world better with my story, not just get angry. That last video I made, another reason I took it down is because there was no resolution to it. I just left it and I was pissed off. I felt so... I was wronged and I was mad about it, and then I had to go and do a lot of work. I had to deal with a lot of things I hadn't dealt with. And this does go along with Circe because something's coming to her island here pretty quick, where she goes through something similar, well, just one of those unfair things. Why me? I want to share also experiences I've had with the devil and demons, black magic. I want to talk about dreams. You guys were interested. That's one of my giftings, is dreams and visions. I want to talk about it all, but I don't want to spend an hour pouring out my heart if no one's watching. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk for an hour and people watch for 5 minutes and I'm just getting myself worked up for nothing, reliving these things. So here's what I want you to do. And then it'll decide if I do this or not. Like I was saying, the video we did just a couple days ago, my journey into witchcraft, it got a lot of views. It's getting traction. The algorithm looks like it's this close to picking it up, which is good for the channel as a whole. Not even to do with just that video, but it brings in subscribers, and then they see my other videos, and it's good for what I'm trying to do is my mission on this channel also. Make the world a better place. Just move that meter towards light, a little more than darkness, positivity, a little more than negativity, a little more love, a little more good. Right? And so go to that video. Even if you already watched it, watch it all the way through. That's the thing the algorithm looks for. Watch it all the way through. I think it's 48 minutes. At the end of it, go and put, yes, Magus. Well, whatever you want to say about the video. But then let me know, yes, I want you to make that video about the cult. Okay? And I'll see how many of those we got. If it's not a lot, I'm not going to do it because it's stressful for me. Let me show you this picture real quick. So to me, that was wild because I felt it. I could feel the muscles in my whole body. I felt like a dangerous dragon, and I was seeing that. Not only was I feeling it, my body was reflecting it, and I thought it was pretty cool. I caught that on camera. Okay, Circe, chapter 12. She's on her way back to Aiea, her beautiful island. She gets there. The sailors carry up her loom, set it by the hearth, and they sail right off. All right, whenever you see my pink tabs and pink highlights, this is beautiful, beautiful prose. Things that just touch my heart. The lion glared from my threshold. She lashed her tail as to say, that had better be the last of that. She missed her. I think it will be, I said. After being gone, my house was snug as a burrow. I walked its neat rooms, feeling the silence, the stillness, the scuff of no feet but my own. I put my hand to every surface, every cupboard, every cup. They were all as they had been, as they would ever be. I went out to my garden. I weeded the same weeds that always grew and planted the herbs I had gathered from Dicte. They looked strange away from their moonlit hollows, crowded in among my glossy, bright beds. In defiance, I threw myself into my old life. I did what I liked. The moment I thought of it, I sang upon the beaches, rearranged my garden. I called the pigs and scratched their bristled backs, brushed the sheep, summoned the wolves to lie panting on my floor. The lion rolled her yellow eyes at them, but she behaved herself, for it was my law that all the animals bear each other. Every night I went out to dig my herbs and roots. I did whatever spell came to mind just to feel the pleasure of them knitting in my hands. In the morning, I cut flowers for my kitchen. So beautiful. Some things I got starred here. After my father's halls, the island seemed to me the wildest, most giddy freedom. Its shores, its peaks, all of them yawned out to the horizon, filled up with magic. I just lose myself in these words. This is what I look for in books, where I lose myself in words. Is there anything more beautiful than words? She talks about the enjoyment of her loom, and she talks about the smell of the cedar wood, and just, it's almost like a meditation that she loses herself in. The dying of the wolves. I love it when she said she made a cloak, and I draped my lion in one and called her Queen of Phoenicia. She sat, turning her head this way and that, as if to show off how the purple made her fur shine gold. I rose from my stool and made myself walk the island, admiring the changes every hour brought. The water striders skimming over the ponds, the stones rolled green and smooth by river currents, the bees flying low, freighted with pollen, the bay filled with lashing fish, the seeds broke from their pods. Spring passed into summer, and summer into fragrant autumn. There were mists now in the morning, and sometimes storms at night. Winter would come soon with its own beauty, the green hellebore leaves shining amid the brown, and the cypress tall and black. Whew. I do love beautiful words. She says, my sister's words followed me, taunting, worming deep in my bones and blood. You are wrong about witchcraft, I told her. It does not come from hate. I made my first spell for love of Glaukos. I could hear her meek voice as if she stood before me, yet it was in defiance of our Father, in defiance of all those who slighted you and would keep you from your desires. That hit me hard. Sometimes the magic that has to rise up in us, it comes from defiance. I think of my own story. It's your desire for justice, to not feel weak, to not feel helpless, to create something better. Right? So her witchcraft is coming from a place of love, but also what her sister said is kind of ringing deep too. It's also a bit of a fighting for something better. This hit me kind of hard. She said, I had walked the earth for 100 generations, yet I was still a child to myself. She'd walked the earth for 100 generations, yet I was still a child to myself. You ever feel like that? Right? We don't have hundreds of generations. We get one lifetime as humans to figure this shit out. My God, my God. Rage, grief, thwarted desire, lust, self-pity. These are emotions gods know well, but guilt and shame, remorse, ambivalence, those are foreign countries to our kind, which must learn stone by stone. We have such a short little lifespan here on earth to figure all this out and heal all this, and then still to make it better for our children and children's children in the world to come. How do we do it? How do we bear it, right? The best we can. Theseus. So now they're getting human sacrifice for the Minotaur from other countries. So Theseus, he comes, he's to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. But this is a hard name here. I'm saying, remember the little dancing princess? Her name, Ariadne, I'm going to go with. She falls in love with this sacrifice, and she doesn't want him to die. So to save his life, she smuggled him a sword and taught him the way through the labyrinth. Says, yet when he came out from the maze with his hands covered in the monster's blood, she had wept, and not for joy. She had an unnatural love for that creature. She would go often to his cage and speak softly to it through the bars, offer delicacies from her own table. I remembered her face as she said, "My brother." Oh, almost made me want to cry. I'm thinking back to that little Minotaur baby, right? Wobbly with its big head. Didn't it break your heart? Oh, it makes me want to cry. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. Is this what happens to men when they get older? They turn into pussies, But I've gotten so emotional where I read that. It makes me want to cry. Oh, broke my heart. She fled with Theseus after the creature was dead. And Theseus would have married the little princess, but the god Dionysus decided that he wanted her. Artemis ends up killing her. Circe says, what? Hermes is telling her what the stories of what's going on. What? She's dead? For what reason? Hermes says, you know how ill-tempered she is. Something stirring up again in Circe. Again, this makes me want to cry. I think because, one, it makes me think of my own life story. Makes me think of the plight of mankind and humans in general. She says, my witchcraft was no match against Olympian. That makes me want to cry right there. My witchcraft is no match against an Olympian. I knew it. But in that moment, I fucking wanted to try. I added that. You might want to write that in. To summon up all my charms, to throw my will upon the spirits of the earth, the beast, the bird, and set them after Artemis until she knew what it was to be truly hunted. Come now, Hermes said. If you cry every time some mortal dies, you'll drown in a month. Get out, I said. She's always kicking Hermes out. Cracks me up. I needed that. It made me laugh because I was getting sad again and emotional. Get out, I said. She's feeling helpless. But in this helplessness, again, right, it could stir a desire. And sometimes that's what we need. We need to stir something up inside of us to release that magic. Right now, she's stirring up a little something to not be helpless again. Right now, she's feeling a little helpless. But don't we all feel in us something inside of us like, I think I can grow 2 sizes bigger than what I am? Maybe more. Maybe I can do more than I thought I could. Maybe there's a blue dragon lurking somewhere inside the Magi. Hermes came back, and as always, I let him in. Kind of little thing they got going on. Get out! All right, come on back. Hermes, he's telling his stories. He's a good storyteller. He always saves the best for last. Here, let's see. I highlighted this here. She says, I sent Hermes from me, and I closed my shutters as I never did. Anyone would have thought I was casting a great spell, but I reached for no herbs. But I felt a weightless joy. The story was so ugly, so outlandish and disgusting that it felt like a fever breaking. If I was trapped on this island, at least I did not have to share the world with her and all her kind, Pasiphae, right? And all the others. Pacing by my lion, I said, "It is done." How many of you have done that? I've caught myself doing that. Here's the line in the sand, right? I like that. It is done. I'd be getting louder right now, but my voice is getting raw. I will think of them no more. I cast them out, and I am finished. You know, just the idea, the energy of Pasiphae and those gods and the injustice. Is that a word? It was defiling her paradise island. And I'm so glad she's realizing it. You know, I went through something similar with this when I went through my divorce. I was carrying it because my ex-wife hooked up with a friend. So it was a double betrayal. I lost a wife and a friend. See my kids on the weekend. All the feelings of that. And I got to a place where I couldn't heal, even though I moved out here to the woods and I'd be walking on a beautiful sunny day and the birds singing. I wasn't able to see Asha at that time. And first, thank God I had this realization that they're still poisoning my life. They already hurt me. I mean, I broke out in shingles. I lost my damn mind. My heart was ripped out. I mean, financially, I got reamed. I mean, in every possible way. But I was the one torturing myself with it. For myself, I had to let it go. I had to forgive them as much as possible, forget it as much as possible, even though you'll never forget it. But can you get to a place where it doesn't ruin the rest of your life? And I started working on that, friends. I hope this helps someone. And so I'd be out on my walks and I'd start catching myself. Well, because I noticed I'd go out for an hour walk in the most beautiful heaven paradise. And I got back and I was miserable and I missed the whole walk. And I think, oh my God, I didn't even enjoy it. The sun, the little creeks, and I dreamed of being in a place like this, and I didn't enjoy it because I'm letting them ruin it. And so I decided I'm done, just like Circe said there. And I'd go for a walk, and I find myself starting to lose myself in the conversations and in the injustice. But I'd put a stop to it. Right? I'd say, no. I'm talking out loud. No. I'm not going to go there. I'd stop and I'd breathe and I'd make myself look around. I'd make myself think of a happy thought. I'd make myself think of a happy future. Make myself think of, well, on the weekend when my kids come, I'm going to make it so great. I'm not going to worry about the 5 days I'm not with them. The 2 days I'm going to have with them. They're going to think, this is good. I changed the way I thought, and the world started to be more pretty. I got pretty soon where I didn't have to say no so many times on the walk, where I could just go out and walk and enjoy. And life started getting beautiful again. Don't let the world defile your paradise. The world is beautiful if you allow yourself to see it. It's a gift. We got some hard chapters coming here. It says, the cat pressed her cheek upon her folded paws. I'm an emotional mess, guys. The cat pressed her cheeks upon her folded paws, kept her eyes upon the floor, so perhaps she knew what I did not. She still got some stuff to go through. Mwah! I love this book, and I love you guys. If any of you are still here after my long, drawn-out talks and just spending time, thank you. I love you. You mean the world to me. It makes me think about how we ended that last chapter, where like once a year, the stars come down, the constellation near the earth, and that special relationship. You guys are that for me. I think how beautiful. These people all around the world, and because of the internet and YouTube and a shared interest, we're spending life together. It's beautiful. And I love you guys. I hope you know that. I don't always do right, but that's my goal. I don't always say the right thing. We talked about, I got almost 3,000 videos. I've taken down very few. I've left up some of the ones I made mistakes in because I think they need to be there. I think it's all part of my growth and journey and life, and it's real. I'm not trying to hide anything. I've taken down very few. But I've made mistakes. I've said things I wish I could go back and take away. And I guess in a way I could erase the videos. But I just leave them there, just little reminders. I love you guys. Life is good. And I know some of you, there's different stages in life. I'm in a good place right now. Thank God. I'm so happy. I get to come every day and say, hello, my wonderful friends. Magus here. Another beautiful day in Asha. Asha, it's my paradise. It's my Circe's island. It's good. I feel like I deserve it. I'm happy for myself after all I've gone through. I'm so happy for myself. I deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. But I know many of you are in different stages of life. Some of you are going through it right now. Some of you, like we're about to go into chapter 13, are about to go through it. All I can say, if you can hold love, somehow, it changes everything. I see love is the only thing that is going to save this world. We've tried religions. We've tried governments. We've tried mandating. It's going to have to come from the heart. It's going to have to be love. Love mixed with everything. You know, I heard a very wise person saying one time, like laughter, right? Laughter without love can be so cruel. But you add love and it can be so joyous and healing. If you can add love to anything, you know, even as I think about that cult I was talking about, when I can go back and add love even to the past, and I can put love into that. And I remember the guy that abused me, he was abused as a child so bad that his dad would chain him up to a post and whip him. You know, just horrible stories of hate and anger. And if I can go back and think of him as a child and how he was being bred to hate and anger and abuse, and I can put love into it, it can help me actually feel love towards him. A little more understanding to the situation. Not let it darken my soul. It's important my soul is not darkened, which I might touch on if we do that video, like I was talking about, why it's important. Anyway, guys, I hope if you get anything from this Magus channel, I hope, even with all the mistakes I made, that's the point I was trying to get to. I know I'm not perfect and I say wrong things. I hope you're still getting love from this. I hope you know you are loved, you are special, and you're going to get through this. I know that I can say that from coming out the other end. And I've been through some stuff. I came out the other end, and it can be good. It can be Asha. And start taking control of your mind. Right? Like Circe said, I'm done. Like I did on my walks. No, we're not going there. I'm going to make my Hasha. I'm going to make my magic. I'm going to make my world good. I'm not going to let anybody ruin it. Not gods, men, devils. I'm going to have a beautiful life. Pass on something better to my children and my children's children's. I love you guys.